Have you ever seen yourself somewhere you weren't? Not a twin. Not someone who looks like you. But you. Exactly you. Same face, same walk, same clothes. In a place you've never been. Most people would say that's impossible. I used to think so too. Until December 2023, when my Ring doorbell started recording me leaving my house. While I was still inside. This is my true personal experience, shared for entertainment and discussion purposes. What I'm about to tell you sounds impossible. But I have the footage. And I can't explain it. If you have a Ring doorbell or any security camera, this story will make you check your recordings tonight. Keep watching. My name is Alex. I'm 28, I'm a software developer, and I live alone in Seattle. I work from home most days and I like it that way. No commute, no office drama, just me and my code. In November 2023, I installed a Ring doorbell. Not because I'm paranoid, but because my building had a package theft problem. 3 times in 2 months, deliveries disappeared from our lobby. So I got a Ring doorbell. Smart investment, I thought. I could see who was at my door even when I wasn't home. The first 2 weeks were normal. I'd get alerts when the mail carrier came. When neighbors walked past. When delivery drivers dropped off packages. Standard stuff. The Ring app worked perfectly. Motion detection, night vision, two-way audio. Everything you'd expect. I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building in Capitol Hill. My unit faces the hallway. So my Ring doorbell sees everyone who walks past my door. Most of the time it's just neighbors coming and going. Nothing interesting. December started normal. I was working on a project deadline. Late nights, lots of coffee, the usual. I checked my Ring notifications during the day, but honestly, I barely paid attention. Delivery here, neighbor there. Background noise. December 8th changed everything. It was 2:47 a.m. I was asleep. My phone buzzed with a Ring alert. Motion detected at my front door. I ignored it. Probably a neighbor coming home late. But then it buzzed again. Person detected at your front door. Half asleep, I grabbed my phone. Opened the Ring app. Looked at the live feed. And I froze. Because on my screen, I was watching myself leave my apartment. Not someone who looked like me. Me. Same height, same build, wearing my black jacket, my jeans, my shoes. Walking out of my door. Locking it behind me. Walking down the hallway toward the stairs. I sat up in bed. Wide awake now. What the hell did I just see? I got up, went to my front door. It was locked. From the inside. The chain was on. No one had left. I went back to my phone. Rewatched the footage. There I was. Clear as day. My face. My walk. My clothes. Leaving my apartment at 2:47 a.m. But I'd been asleep. In bed. Alone. I convinced myself I'd been dreaming. That I'd sleepwalked or something. Even though the door was locked and chained. Even though I'd never sleepwalked in my life. I went back to bed. But I didn't sleep. 2 days later, December 10th, it happened again. 3:15 a.m. Ring alert. Person at my door. I grabbed my phone immediately this time. And there I was again. Leaving my apartment. Same clothes. Same everything. And I was in bed watching it happen. This time I didn't hesitate. I jumped up, ran to the door. Still locked. Still chained. I looked through the peephole. Empty hallway. I checked every room in my apartment. Living room, kitchen, bathroom. No one. Just me. I reviewed the footage over and over. It was me. Not a stranger. Not someone who vaguely looked like me. Me. Same face, same haircut, same way of moving. Even the way I locked the door behind me, it was exactly how I always do it. Turn the key twice, check the handle, walk away. December 12th, 2:53 a.m. It happened again. This time I was ready. I'd stayed up, waiting. And when the alert came, I watched in real time. My doppelganger leaving my apartment. While I stood in my living room holding my phone. A pattern was forming. Always between 2:30 and 3:30 a.m. Always the same routine. I would leave my apartment, lock the door, and walk toward the stairs. Never came back on camera. Just left. I started staying awake every night. Watching the Ring app. Waiting for it to happen. On December 15th at 3:08 a.m., something changed. Instead of seeing myself leave, I saw myself enter. I walked up to my door. Pulled out my keys and unlocked the door. Opened it. Stepped inside. The footage cut off as I closed the door behind me. I grabbed a baseball bat and ran to my front door. It was still locked from the inside. But according to my ring, I just entered my apartment. I checked every room. Closets, under the bed, shower. Nothing. No one. That's when I got really scared. Because if the doppelganger could enter my apartment, where did it go? Was it still here somehow? Hiding in a place I couldn't see? I set up 2 more cameras inside my apartment. One in the living room, one in the hallway. I needed to know what was happening when the doppelganger entered. December 18th, 3:12 a.m. Ring alert. I watched on my phone from my bedroom. The doppelganger appeared in the hallway. Unlocked my door. Entered. I switched to my interior cameras. And I watched it walk through my living room. Look around. Move toward my bedroom. I was hiding in my closet. Holding my phone. Watching this thing that looked exactly like me walk through my apartment. It entered my bedroom. Looked at my bed, which was empty because I was in the closet. It stood there for maybe 10 seconds. Then it turned. Left the bedroom. Left the apartment. And disappeared. I called the police from inside my closet. Told them someone had broken into my apartment. When they arrived 20 minutes later, they searched everywhere. No one. No signs of forced entry. Nothing. They looked at my ring footage. "That's you," one officer said. "Did you forget you went out?" "I didn't go out," I said. "I was here the whole time." They didn't believe me. I could see it in their faces. They thought I was confused. Maybe drunk. Maybe crazy. They told me to get some sleep. And they left. After that, I started researching doppelgangers. Folklore says seeing your double means death is coming. Some cultures believe it's your soul leaving your body. Others say it's a demon or evil spirit taking your form. All of them agree it's a bad sign. I couldn't sleep. Couldn't focus on work. I check my ring app every few minutes. Waiting for it to happen again. December 22nd, 4 p.m. I got a ring alert. But it was daytime. I was working at my desk. I opened the app. And there it was. Standing at my door. In broad daylight. Staring directly at the camera. And it waved at me. I ran to the door. Threw it open. Empty hallway. Ran down the stairs. Checked the street. No one. I went back upstairs, back to my apartment. Watched the footage again. Me. Standing at my own door. Waving at myself. And then disappearing between one frame and the next. Just gone. December 24th. Christmas Eve. I was supposed to go to my parents' house for dinner the next day, Christmas Day. But at 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve, my mom called. She was crying. "Why did you leave?" she asked. "Dinner was fine. We had a good time. But you barely said anything. And then you just left without saying goodbye." "Mom, what are you talking about? I'm at home. I haven't left my apartment." "Alex, you were just here. You had dinner with us. You left 20 minutes ago." My stomach dropped. "What? You came over at 6 p.m. You ate. You sat with us. But you seemed off, distant. We thought you were tired. And then you just stood up and left without a word. Your father is upset." I pulled up my ring app. Scrolled back to 6 p.m. There it was. Footage of me leaving my apartment at 5:58 p.m. Walking down the hallway. The timestamp matched. My parents lived 30 minutes away. I would have arrived at their house around 6:30 p.m. Had dinner. Left around 7:40 p.m. "Mom, I need you to look at something," I said. I sent her a screenshot of my ring footage. The timestamp showing me at home all evening. No one leaving or entering. There was silence. Then, "But you were here. Your father and I both saw you. You ate meatloaf. You know I only make that for you." "Mom, I'm looking at my security footage right now. I never left. I've been home all night." Then who was sitting at our dinner table? That question terrified me more than anything else. Because if the doppelganger could enter my apartment, walk around, leave, and now it was going to my parents' house pretending to be me, what else could it do? Where else had it been? Who else had it talked to? I called my parents the next morning. Christmas Day. Told them I wasn't feeling well. Couldn't come over. The truth was I was afraid. Afraid the doppelganger would show up at their house again. Afraid they'd see both of us at once. I spent all of December 25th watching my ring footage from the past month. Every alert. Every recording. And I saw things I'd missed. On December 11th at 9 a.m., while I was on a work video call, my ring recorded me leaving my apartment. On December 14th at 2 p.m., while I was in my living room, it recorded me entering. On December 20th at 11:30 p.m., while I was watching TV, it recorded me leaving and coming back 30 minutes later. This thing was living a parallel life. Using my face. Going places I'd never been. Doing things I'd never done. And it was getting bolder. More frequent. More visible. December 30th, I decided I had to confront it. I set up every camera I owned. Ring doorbell at the front door. Interior cameras in every room. My laptop webcam. My phone camera. I stayed up all night. And at 3:17 a.m. the ring alert came. I watched on my phone. The doppelganger appeared in the hallway, walking toward my door. But this time I didn't hide. I stood right behind my front door, waiting. I heard the key in the lock, heard the door handle turn, and I pulled the door open, face to face with myself. Exact height, exact features, wearing my clothes, holding my keys. And for 3 seconds we stared at each other, me looking at me. And then it smiled. And it said in my voice, "You don't belong here anymore." "I do." "What are you?" I asked. "I'm what you could have been. The version of you that made different choices. I'm taking over now. You can't just steal my life. I already have. Your parents think I'm you. Soon everyone will. And you'll fade away. That's how this works." I tried to grab it, to push it, to do something. But my hands went through it like air. Like it wasn't solid. And it walked through me. Actually through me. Walked into my apartment. Stood in my living room. Looked at me and said, "This is my apartment now. Leave." I didn't leave. How could I? It was my apartment. My life. I wasn't going to let some impossible thing take it from me. But I realized something. The doppelganger appeared more often when I was isolated. When I was alone. When I was disconnected from other people. It was strongest when I was weakest. So I changed things. I started leaving my apartment every day. Going to coffee shops. Working in co-working spaces. Video calling my parents every night. Meeting up with friends. Reconnecting with people. Proving to myself and to others that I was real. That I existed. That I was here. And the doppelganger appearances decreased. December 31st, no sighting. January 1st, nothing. January 5th, one brief appearance, but it looked faint. Translucent. Not solid like before. January 28th was the last time I saw it. It appeared at my door one more time. Stood there. Looked at the camera. And I swear it looked sad. Like it was losing something. And then it faded. Just dissolved into nothing. It's been 3 months. No more sightings. No more ring alerts showing me when I'm not there. No more doppelganger going to my parents' house. It's gone. But I still check my ring footage every day. Every single alert. Every single recording. Because I need to know if it comes back. And because I need proof that I'm the only me. I've developed a theory. Maybe the doppelganger wasn't trying to replace me. Maybe it was me. Some version of me created by loneliness, by isolation, by depression. A projection of the person I could have been if I'd made different choices. And the more I isolated myself, the more real it became. Until it was real enough to be seen by cameras. Real enough to have conversations. Real enough to eat dinner with my parents. Or maybe it was something else. Something supernatural. Something that feeds on isolation and takes the form of its victim. I don't know. I'll never know. What I do know is this: isolation is dangerous. When you cut yourself off from the world, you create space for something to take your place. Maybe it's just in your mind. Maybe it's something real. But either way, you start to fade. And something else starts to appear. That's my story. That's why I'll never trust my Ring doorbell the same way again. And why I never let myself get too isolated anymore. If you have security cameras, check your footage. Look for anything strange. Anything impossible. Because technology sees things our eyes miss. And sometimes what it sees is terrifying. The doppelganger hasn't returned. But I keep my cameras running. Just in case. Because if it could appear once, it could appear again. And next time, I want to be ready. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like this video and subscribe. I share true paranormal and unexplained experiences every week. And if you ever see yourself on a security camera when you know you're somewhere else, don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it. Because that's when it starts. That's when you need to fight back. Stay connected. Stay present. Stay real. And keep watching your doorbell camera. You never know what you might see.